Joining us now, Alabama Senator and Alabama gubernatorial candidate Senator Tommy Tuberville joins us. Great to have you back on, sir. Senator, what is your reaction to your Democrat Senate colleagues Chuck Schumer's claim that this is a fake EU trade deal?
Well, it's a shame we've only got one party in this country now that loves America, and that's the Republicans. Obviously, we do have some Democrats that would probably love to caucus with us on the Republican side now because they're sick and tired of the Chuck Schumers, the Elizabeth Warrens, and the AOCs. They've lost their mind. And, of course, the mainstream media is pushing this narrative. But it's for a lost cause. The deal maker in chief, President Trump, continues to work and bring the economy back to the United States of America, and it's fun to watch.
Okay, now for the first time ever, American farmers, ranchers, fishermen, they can now trade in the EU. The EU just opened up its entire $20 trillion trading bloc to the U.S., and now this major development, Senator, is underway in the economy. It could pull even more voters over to the Republican Party. It's the explosive growth in the construction of new U.S. factories as more companies reshore manufacturing back to the U.S. We're talking more than 1 billion square, feet of factory space that's opening up over the last several years.
Well, Liz, if you go back the last 4 years, the Democrats wanted to not even talk about any growth or anything to do with tariffs or anything coming back to this country. That's what President Trump and the Republican Party in general is all about. So it's good to see this happening. Thank goodness for our farmers, Liz, because they are in bad trouble because they've been holding their fingers crossed. They've had them crossed for years. The Democrats try to put them under. We just gave them some help in this big, beautiful bill with reference prices, but they're in bad trouble. But this tariff is going to help them in terms of being able to trade with Europe more and more. We've needed that. We've needed it a long time ago. Fortunately, it's starting to happen now. Maybe it's not too late.
You know, Senator, there's also this. People overseas in the United Kingdom, they were cheering on President Trump's presser with the UK Prime Minister over there, where President Trump said the UK should cut taxes, crack down on, quote, ruinous open borders, and knock out and remove subsidies for green energy, and instead drill for oil in the North Sea instead. What do you make of the reaction to the president overseas?
Well, he's exactly right. And the same thing, Liz, was happening to us here. They were trying to change us into Europe with open borders, the climate hoax, all the things that they're trying to do with green energy. It's the same thing. Overrunning our borders has already happened in Europe. They're in bad trouble, and President Trump knows that. We've all talked about that with him, but he was not going to allow that to happen here in our country. Thank goodness for the border wall, for ICE, and the things that they're doing. But at the end of the day, we have a plan here, but they have so many leaders over there that are off the cuff, that have gone so far left. They're in bad trouble. President Trump's going to try to help them. I don't know whether he can help them, but this tariff deal is actually going to help some of their leadership get back to some sense of reality.
Back to common sense. Senator Tommy Tuberville, thank you so much for being with us tonight, sir. It's always a pleasure to see you again.